Okay, so what we actually did with this was we went and undid all the Torx 25 screws down the side of there, and there's 3 across the top. That then allows the glove box to drop down onto the floor. That's the centre glove box. We then come up and take the air vents out. These are actually held in on little ball sockets. You can see there's one there and one there, so that sits in that way. What we did with those was we just got a start on it by gently prying it with a screwdriver, and then we got a removal tool, trim removal tool in, and got that out. Once those are out, then this allows you access to the screws for this centre. So these are all round the top here. There's a couple here, and then it clips in down the back. Before that'll actually come out, you need to take the map or paper holder off if you've got one, and that screws in through those holes there, through the top of that. And once that's come out and you come down and do the screws on the opposite side of there, what I should have mentioned, sorry, was there's a screw that holds the panel with the cup holder in. It's actually underneath the rubber, and you take that out and that lifts off as one. I've just disconnected the cigarette lighter and 12 volt output there, and then this is just on a little clip for the back of the illuminated lights on there. The stereo's out and the tray above it. The tray just slides with a bit of light pressure just on a clip. The stereo, you might find, is either loose on a clip. I've got an aftermarket one fitted, so it's just on a metal slide. This then gives you access to the back of the heater control unit. The only problem being is, to get the switch out, you've got to unplug this harness, part of the harness down there. You can just see the back of the switch there, and you've got to unscrew. There's 2 little screws on there to slide the old switch out. So in here, what's actually holding is there's 2 Torx 25s hold the top, and then underneath it's just located on a couple of pins with a couple of plastic clips. Now if you unclip that plastic clip there, that one there, undo the screws, the whole of that assembly then will push back. And you can either do one or 2 things. If you drop it back down the hole, you're not going to be able to drop it out. But what you can do then, once you've got this out from underneath, is get to the back of this unit, and in the back of the unit you'll find this switch or dial or whatever you want to call it. Once you've disconnected it, the 2 top holes in there are located onto 2 white plastic lugs, and there's 2 tiny screws that are actually hold this to the back of the unit. What we found had happened on this one as well, the white plastic that sits on had broken, so this was allowing the whole of the outer dial to turn round, and it had sunk into the dash. That now we've repaired. I do apologise, but I should have shown you that before taking this out, but as it's a little bit of a jiggle to get it back in and I'm working one-handed, I've left that in to do it. So that's all there. When you're reassembling the switch, if you get the switch and turn it as far anti-clockwise as you can go, the switch will be in that position in the back of the hole. Set this at 0 and this on the coldest setting, and then you'll find it all slides in. If the white lug has broken on the back, if you've not fixed it or glued it, I mean what we actually did was glued it and it's held in place and then it's in with the screws, but you'll have to get the white part lined up as well as getting the switch lined up. So that's now all in the back of there, screwed in, the cables clipped into the back, and we're away. Now if you're turning the fan on and it's still only working on the one setting, which is what happened here, we went back to good old Google and found mention of the heat resistor, and again it was another thing we had to go searching for because it seems to be in different places on different models. As I say, this is a 2007 relay, and when we went looking, courtesy of a gent that's posted a clip on his Heimer on YouTube. If you come along from the centre dash, underneath, the centre glove box to the passenger glove box, and just underneath the back of there, you might be able to see it, you'll see the blower motor, and that little connector there clicks into the heater resistor. Now, when I came to this, we just found we've got a loose wire, and I haven't actually taped it back up yet because I've actually got to fix it properly, but we've just put the wire back in there, and we've found now that I've got all 4 blower speeds working, which is great because that's not happened since I've had the van. But that little connector there, if you pull that out, once you've taken the connector off, there's a little 5.5mm bolt on the top there, and if you unscrew that, the whole heater resistor drops out. And I've seen them for about £7 on eBay, but I'm not gonna, as we've got such a lot on at the moment, I'm not gonna take it apart and pull everything out. But with the wires that hang down here, I'm not surprised that things fall out. I've got wires there that I don't know what they're for, and we won't go messing. So the only thing I've got to do now, as I say, is put it all back together. Such a fiddly job. The one thing when you are putting this back in, make sure when this comes back in that you've actually located these 2 little lugs here, the little plastic lugs that come through the hole, and then the clips underneath, and you need to do that before the top comes down. If you don't line it up like that, when you come to put the centre console on, it doesn't line up. So hopefully now this is going to get back together and we won't have any more problems for a bit. I hope you found that of use.